February 21st, 2025, 10:47 p.m. UTC. Someone is about to steal $1.5 billion. Not over months. Not through blackmail or insider trading or some elaborate Ponzi scheme. In exactly 90 seconds. Bybit's Ethereum vault. 401,346 ETH tokens, stored offline in what's called a cold wallet, supposedly unhackable because it's not connected to the internet. This vault requires 5 separate executives to authorize any transaction. You need 3 of those 5 keys turning at the exact same time. A hardware security module that verifies every signature is legitimate. This is supposed to be the last line of defense. Automated protocols that flag suspicious transactions. Any movement over $10 million should trigger immediate human review. Machine learning algorithms trained to detect anomalous behavior. A brand new wallet receiving over $1 billion should be screaming red flags. February 21st, 2025, 10:48:32 p.m. UTC, 1,462,000,000 stolen. 5 impossible security barriers defeated, 92 seconds. You know what's harder than stealing $1.5 billion? Explaining to 60 million customers why their money just vanished because someone clicked on a phishing email. This wasn't a sophisticated zero-day exploit. This wasn't some quantum computer cracking military-grade encryption. This was a simple email, and it could happen to your bank account. Today, right now, I'm Michael Greenberg, 23 years tracking financial fraud across 17 countries. I've audited offshore shell companies in the Caymans, traced Ponzi schemes through Singapore, and watched social engineering attacks destroy billion-dollar institutions. The Bybit Hiest? This is what happens when a $20 billion company treats cybersecurity like a suggestion. And partner, we're about to follow that $1.5 billion through the digital underworld. Blockchain by blockchain, wallet by wallet, until we find out exactly who did this and why they're probably going to get away with it. This is a forensic reconstruction for educational purposes, not financial advice. I'm an investigator, not a broker. Now let's follow the rot. If you're here to learn how money actually moves when criminals don't want you to see it moving, hit subscribe. We're about to dissect the largest crypto heist of 2025, and you're gonna want the receipts. Here's what Bybit told their users in the emergency disclosure. An authorized transaction was initiated from our Ethereum cold wallet. You catching that language, partner? Authorized, not hacked, not breached, authorized. That's corporate speak for someone with the keys opened the vault, and we have no earthly idea if it was an inside job, a state-sponsored attack, or if our entire security team got socially engineered by someone who learned hacking from a Discord server. Let me show you what actually happened, because I've seen this exact con before, just never at this scale. Bybit's cold wallet used multi-signature authorization. Picture a bank vault that requires 5 different executives to show up with 5 different keys, and at least 3 of those keys must turn simultaneously for the door to open. This is mathematically supposed to be unbreakable. You'd need to compromise 3 out of 5 key holders. Do it simultaneously so the system accepts all 3 signatures. Bypass the hardware security modules that verify each signature is legitimate. Avoid triggering any of the 17 automated alarm systems. So how did someone pull this off without a single alert? Social engineering, the oldest trick in the forensic manual, just wearing a blockchain suit. Based on blockchain forensics, transaction timing, and 16 years of watching these attacks, here's the likely scenario. The attackers, probably a coordinated state-sponsored team, spent months researching Bybit's operational security. They identified the 5 multi-sig key holders. They mapped their digital footprints. They studied communication patterns, work schedules, security habits. Then they launched what's called a business email compromise on steroids. You're a Bybit key holder, senior VP of security. It's 9 p.m. You're at home. You receive an email from what appears to be Ben Zhou, Bybit's CEO. Perfect formatting, correct header. Sent from his verified email domain, the email says a critical security flaw has been discovered in the multi-sig authorization system. You need to re-verify your signing key immediately to prevent unauthorized access. There's a link to Bybit's internal security portal. You click. The page loads. It's pixel perfect. Same design, same login interface, same two-factor authentication prompt. You enter your credentials. You approve the two-factor authentication request on your phone. Congratulations. You just handed a North Korean hacking collective the master key to $1.5 billion. And here's the sick part. You did everything right according to your training. The email looked legitimate. The domain was spoofed perfectly. The urgency was believable. As Kevin Mitnick, legendary hacker turned security consultant, once said, you could spend a fortune purchasing technology and services, and your network infrastructure could still remain vulnerable to old-fashioned manipulation. Someone just proved him right. Again, the impossible math: 3 keys, 1 wallet, 90 seconds at 10:47 p.m. UTC, 3 legitimate key holders, or 3 compromised credentials that the system couldn't distinguish from the real thing. Approved a transaction. A wallet address created 17 minutes earlier. Amount 401,346 Ethereum tokens. Value $1,462 million. Let me put this in terms your grandmother would understand. Imagine your bank lets you wire your entire life savings to an account that was opened 20 minutes ago by someone named Totally Legitimate Business Trust Fund, LLC. And when you call customer service to ask if maybe someone should verify this seems suspicious, they say, the transaction was authorized by the system. That's what happened here. The security worked perfectly. 3 keys turned. The algorithms verified the signatures. The vault opened. The problem? The system can't tell the difference between the real VP of security and an attacker in Pyongyang who just stole his credentials through a $200 phishing kit. So, you've just stolen $1.5 billion in Ethereum. What do you do next? If you're an amateur, you panic. You try to cash out immediately through a centralized exchange. You make mistakes. The FBI shows up at your door in 3 weeks. But whoever did this? These weren't amateurs. At 10:47:23 p.m. UTC, all 401,346 ETH lands in Wallet A, the brand new receiving address. 11 seconds later, 11 seconds, the funds begin fragmenting. This is called chain hopping or tumbling. It's the digital equivalent of a bank robber switching getaway cars 17 times in 5 minutes while wearing a different disguise each time. 10:47:34 p.m. The 1.5 billion fractures into 127 separate transactions. 10:47:51 p.m. Those 127 wallets each split again. Now we're tracking 1,843 addresses. 10:48:29 p.m. Those wallets split again. We're now looking at 4,217 unique addresses holding fragments of the original theft. By the time Bybit's security team realizes what's happening, 92 seconds, the money is spread across thousands of addresses like confetti at the world's most expensive funeral. Now the attackers are betting Bybit, crypto exchanges, and law enforcement can't track 4,000 plus addresses fast enough to freeze the funds before they disappear. But here's what they didn't count on. Blockchain analytics firms. Companies like Chainalysis have software that tracks this stuff in real time. I spoke with a forensic blockchain analyst who worked a similar case. She told me, people think cryptocurrency is anonymous. It's not. It's pseudonymous. Every transaction is permanently recorded on a public ledger. You can split your money a million ways, but you can't erase where it came from. It's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs made of neon lights. So we follow the neon, the offshore dance, cross-chain bridges and mixers. Within the first hour, significant chunks of the stolen ETH start moving through cross-chain bridges, services that convert Ethereum into Bitcoin, Monero, Binance Coin, anything that obscures the trail. This is the digital version of classic money laundering. Placement, get dirty money into the system. Layering, bounce it around until nobody can track it. Integration, bring it back out as clean funds. By 11:30 p.m., less than an hour after the theft, we're seeing movement through Tornado Cash, a mixer that scrambles transaction trails, converts ETH to Bitcoin, a no KYC exchange. Each service adds another layer of obfuscation. But here's the thing. These services are known money laundering tools. Every major exchange, every competent investigator, every federal agency monitors them. By February 22nd, 12 hours after the heist, Chainalysis had flagged over $400 million of the stolen funds moving through these channels. Major exchanges started freezing addresses. Tether froze $120 million that had been converted from ETH Binance. Coinbase, Kraken, all of them blacklisted the compromised wallets. The net was tightening, but the attackers had planned for this. The Lazarus connection, North Korea's cyberbank robbers. Let's talk about the elephant in the digital room. Lazarus Group. Lazarus is the cybercrime division of North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau. State-sponsored hackers who fund their government's nuclear weapons program by robbing cryptocurrency exchanges. Their track record, 2016, Bangladesh Bank, $81 million, 2018. CoinCheck, $530 million, 2022. Ronin Bridge, Axie Infinity, $625 million, 2024. DMM Bitcoin, $305 million. And while the North Korean operatives remain safely behind the DMZ, their money launderers in the West haven't been so lucky. Park Jin-hyuk, indicted by DOJ in 2018 for the Sony Pictures and Bangladesh Bank attacks. Still at large, but now a fugitive unable to travel outside North Korea. The U.S. Treasury's OFAC has also issued sanctions against dozens of crypto wallets linked to Lazarus. In the digital world, a blacklisted wallet is a life sentence in a digital cage. You can see the money, but you can never spend it through any legitimate exchange. The Bybit Hiest has their fingerprints everywhere. The timing, off-peak hours when security teams are understaffed. The method, multi-sig compromise through social engineering. The exit strategy, immediate fragmentation through known Lazarus-affiliated mixers. Largest crypto heist since Ronin, and Lazarus did that one too. FBI and Interpol haven't officially attributed the attack, but blockchain intelligence firms are 87% confident this is Lazarus, which means this isn't just theft. This is geopolitics. A sanctioned nation using cryptocurrency to bypass international restrictions and fund weapons development. And here's the infuriating part. We knew this was coming. The Treasury Department warned about this exact scenario in 2023. Every cybersecurity conference for 3 years has had panels titled, "Is your cold wallet actually cold?" And yet, here we are. Let's talk about who actually gets hurt. Because when you hear $1.5 billion stolen from a crypto exchange, it's easy to think that's just some faceless corporation's problem. Wrong. 60 million people who trusted the system Bybit had 60 million users when this happened. 60 million people who deposited real money, earned from real jobs, into what they believed was a secure, regulated professional platform. After the hack, Bybit suspended all withdrawals. For 17 hours, users couldn't access their funds. Imagine waking up to discover your bank won't let you access your paycheck because someone robbed them. By February 23rd, CEO Benjo released a statement claiming Bybit would make users whole using corporate reserves. "We got robbed because our security was apparently optional, but trust us, we definitely have $1.5 billion just lying around to cover this." The markets didn't buy it. Ethereum dropped 14% in 6 hours. Total crypto market cap lost $180 billion as panic selling spread. High life versus real life. Let me paint you a picture of who wins and who loses here. Lazarus Group operatives, who U.S. intelligence estimates have stolen $3 billion since 2017, converting stolen crypto into luxury goods, weapons components, and funding for ballistic missile tests. Kim Jong-un touring a munitions factory built with stolen Ethereum. A retiree in Manchester who lost his pension savings. A developer in Lagos whose startup capital is frozen. A nurse in Texas whose emergency medical fund is stuck in limbo. This isn't victimless. This is theft at a scale that crashes markets and destroys lives. And the legal recourse? Because Bybit is incorporated in the British Virgin Islands, with servers in Singapore and operations scattered across jurisdictions like confetti, The legal options for victims are murky at best. You can't sue a North Korean hacker in civil court. You can't freeze assets across borders without years of diplomatic negotiations. You can't call your local FBI office about stolen Bitcoin. The system that was supposed to democratize finance just demonstrated exactly why we have traditional financial intermediaries. Accountability, the knock at the door, or the silence. So, the investigation, the arrests, the justice. As of March 2025, here's where we stand. Arrests, 0. Funds recovered, $340 million frozen by exchanges, 22.6%. Official attribution, pending. Prosecutions, none. Why? Because prosecuting nation-state actors who operate from countries with no extradition treaties is functionally impossible. The FBI has issued advisories identifying 127 wallet addresses. They have coordinated with Chainalysis. They have worked with exchanges to freeze assets. But actually arresting someone requires the attackers to make a catastrophic mistake, like cashing out through a KYC exchange in an extradition-friendly country, or physically traveling somewhere they can be detained. So far, they haven't been that stupid. Compare this to the 2022 Ronin Bridge hack. Lazarus stole $625 million. As of today, the Justice Department has indicted suspects but arrested 0, recovered 15% of funds, and the primary operatives remain free. Justice in the crypto world? Get in line. It's a long, slow line. Let me tell you what actually happened here. This wasn't a heist. This was a systems failure at every level of the stack. Failure 1. Corporate hubris Bybit managed $20 billion in user deposits. Their cybersecurity budget should have been Fort Knox level. Instead, their multi-sig key holders were vulnerable to email phishing. If that sounds insane to you, congratulations. You understand operational security better than a multi-billion-dollar exchange. Failure 2. Regulatory absence. You know what happened after the hack? Bybit kept operating. No emergency government shutdown. No mandatory external audit. No regulatory intervention. Because crypto exchanges operate in a gray zone where they have all the power of banks and none of the oversight. Failure number 3, systemic complacency. This is the 5th massive crypto heist in 3 years. The tactics are identical every time. Social engineering, key compromise, chain hopping, exit through no KYC mixers. And every time the response is, oops, our bad, we'll do better next time. You know what we call people who fall for the same scam repeatedly? Marks. Right now, the entire crypto ecosystem is the mark. Why we fall for this and how we stop it. We fall for this because we want to believe in perfect security. We want cold wallets to be unhackable. We want multi-sig to be foolproof. We want trustless systems to eliminate human error. They don't. Robert Cialdini wrote in Influence, "The most powerful form of persuasion is the illusion of authority combined with urgency." That's what these attackers exploited. Urgency, critical security update, plus authority, appears to be from CEO. The key holders weren't stupid. They were human. So how do we fix this? 3 non-negotiable changes. Hardware-based verification. Multisig must require physical hardware keys, like UB keys, that can't be phished. No physical device, no transaction. Mandatory time locks. Any transaction over $10 million gets a 24-hour delay before execution. Gives security teams time to verify legitimacy before it's too late. Real regulatory oversight exchanges need to be regulated like banks. Insurance requirements, external audits, government accountability. The trustless model is broken. Will this happen? Unlikely. Regulation is expensive, and crypto profits from operating in the gray zone, which means we'll be back here in 6 months when the next exchange loses $2 billion, and I'll be here. Again. Partner, here's the bottom line. Someone stole $1.5 billion using tactics known for years. The exchange didn't stop them. Regulators didn't stop them. The unhackable blockchain didn't stop them. Your money's only as secure as the weakest human in the chain. In this case, very weak. Final sign-off. I'm Michael Greenberg. This has been the Forensic Flow, Don't trust the code, trust the audit trail. And for God's sake, enable hardware authentication.